What's up, boys? I haven't posted in a while. Hold on, I got an intruder.
What's going on?
Making a YouTube video. Want to say what's up to the fans? Lean in here. Say what's cracking like in. Say follow at Poverty on Twitch, right?
Follow Ayo, that's JO3 on Twitch.
That's my cousin. He holds it down for real. Good. He's always laughing. He's always got a smile and this contagious laugh. And like when you're in a bad mood and you get around him, he'll do it for you. It just makes you happy. But anyway, like I was saying, I haven't posted in a while. And so I'm just gonna come at you guys real quick with a video on what I'm throwing around this time of year in South Florida, particularly Lake Okeechobee. So it's been pretty hot lately. Oh, let me get back to what I was saying initially. I've been working a lot. I'm trying to buy a bass boat and a brand new truck to pull it. I'm in love with my baby. I got a 2011 F-150 XL 6-inch lift, aftermarket stereo system, got nice rims on it. It's my baby, and I worked hard to get this one, but I've had her for a while. I bought her with high miles. I've been keeping her going. She's still kicking strong as ever, but I want a new boat and I want a new truck to pull it so I could just be flexing, stunting on the boat ramp. And so I've been working very hard. I don't have a lot of time to do the fishing content that I wish I could do. Trying to, squeeze in family time with working and etc. But I do got good news. With all that being said, my son recently has gotten hooked on fishing. Like hooked, literally. He's just ate up with it. I had always wanted him to be, and he never really got it. He never really liked it until one day he had nothing to do at home. I was at work. My woman was at work. The kids, he just had nothing to do. So I just gave him a chore to do, essentially. I have a fish tank. I'm keeping freshwater, just wild caught fish in it. And I needed a few fish. So I told him, because he wanted some things, I said, all right, in return, go to the canal down the road and catch me 5 fish for the aquarium. And I told him which size to catch and whatnot. And so that day he went to the canal down the road, and sure enough, he caught a few fish, and he was hooked. I don't know what it was about that particular day and that task I gave him, but something clicked, and he just fell in love with it. And so he's ate up with it. He's been ate up with it for like 2 weeks now, and he's fishing right now down the road with his friend. Like I said, I've been working very hard. I just got home. I'm in my driveway. I'm gonna do something quick for you guys. I'm gonna have a couple brewskis, some car brewskis, some after work in the truck, wind down time brewski, I'm gonna edit this out. I don't need any of the miners seeing what's going down. All right, been super busy. Got my son hooked on fishing. Being busy and not having time to fish seems like a negative thing, but it's actually a positive thing in my life, because right now, I work hard. I'm gonna have that bass boat, and that'll be, that it all had paid off. Once I get that bass boat, get that new truck to pull it, it would have all paid off that hard work I'm putting in. Now I've got no choice. I've got to feed the kids, take care of the wife, take care of myself. The house got to come first. We're trying to buy a house. So next year we'll be getting a house, hopefully on Lake Okeechobee, on a canal over there with access to the lake. After that comes the bass boat and the new truck, and I swear to God, my life is rocking after that. I'm set. I just after that have to retire. Gotta find a way to have money coming in that I don't have to go out there and get. Well, at least don't have to go out there every day and get. I don't mind going out in the field once, twice a week, 3 times if I got to on occasion, but preferably I need money coming in and me at home or me on the bass boat. And so that's what we're working towards. But with this video here, I wanted to, like I said, show you guys what I'm using this time of year, and really I just wanted to kind of show you guys I'm going to tell you guys about and show you guys some lures that I've just purchased and why I purchased them. I'll start by saying this time of year, it's hot. Lake Okeechobee's low for the first time in a very long time. The water's very clear for the first time in a long time. So you're using supernatural lures. You're using like the translucent type or watermelon and bluegill pattern, crappie pattern. You're using like super realistic baits because the fish are so used right now at this point to like whatever they're seeing in that muddy water. You know, Lake Okeechobee's been real muddy, not so super crazy muddy, but like tea, like a dark tea, or coffee, like coffee with it's like coffee with creamer type, but like you can kind of see through. The fish have been dealing with that, but it's a little bit clearer now, and so you want to get really realistic. You could have been, you know, in the middle, whites, blacks and blues, and you know, things like that, June bugs and whatnot. You could probably in some places of Okeechobee slide through with the watermelon and get by with that, but you were wanting something with a darker color to kind of create a mass going by the fish. I forget what the term for that is. You just want a profile. You want to create a profile of a bait that the fish can see in darker water, and so the darker colors would make a profile pop. And so, but now with the water being clear, you're going to want to get a little bit more realistic. So you want to study the animals or the bait fish species that are in Lake Okeechobee and etc., and try to match that as close as possible. But then be prepared to, you know, when you get in areas that are still a little bit tea colored, you're going to want to kind of have the natural but darker, if that makes sense. And it may not make sense, I'm sorry, but you're going to want to be natural or not far off of natural. You don't want something super excessive for dark muddy water or nighttime and be throwing it on that day or on Lake Okeechobee at the moment. Particularly the colors I'm using are, I'll never go away from black and blue on Lake Okeechobee early in the mornings, and so black and blue, and in the muddier waters when I can still find it, it's going to be black and blue. But other than that, it's going to be so like this here, this is a Crush City Janitor. And by the way, I'm opening up a small package I got from Bass Pro Shops. I've got more coming, and I wish I had it all here so I could show you, but I'm just gonna show you what I got. Like this Crush City baby bass colored janitor worm, something like that is what I'm gonna be throwing on Lake Okeechobee at the moment. This is something, you know, that I'd be throwing on when Okeechobee's just stirred up, super dirty, nasty. So I just picked these up. It's the Berkeley Power Baits black and chartreuse curly tail worm. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be throwing this right now, most likely. This is something I would throw at night, or like I said, when it's super stirred up and just nasty out there on Lake Okeechobee. And then I think this is going to be the Crush City pig sticks. It's like a Crush City version of a Senko almost, but it's the same baby bass color. I'll be throwing that right now on Lake Okeechobee. And I'll tell you the reason why is because a lot of people say you can fish real fast in the summer. A lot of people say you should. I've heard, I don't think I've heard a lot of people say that you should slow it down in the summer. They say you should fish fast, but most of these people aren't fishing in Florida, where it is super hot in South Florida on Lake Okeechobee. The water is hotter than most people can imagine. And those fish, are probably not feeling real great. This is what I'm assuming, is what I think. I think you can get fish to snap on a lure reaction bite, but I will say that it's so hot that I think the fish go into some different state than anywhere else, really. I don't know how to explain it, but you can get them biting, and I'm not saying they're not aggressive, but I'm saying some of them are, if not all of them, are wanting to feed, I guess, at night primarily, or early in the mornings, and then during the day they're going to be tucked up in the shade and like not super hungry. They're waiting for night to feed, is what I'm thinking. This is my assumption. Just because it's so hot to be using all that energy. Like a human, when you get out there and it's super hot, you just don't want to, like, you just get wore out quickly. I think those fish don't want to exert so much energy in the heat, because energy, when you're using energy, you're producing heat, and it's already hot enough. So I think you want to give them something, this is so I would have to test this out, but I'm going to pass this on to you guys. Maybe you guys can test this out. The bass are either going to want a huge meal, one and done during the day, or they're going to want something small that they can just peck at real fast and go back off into their shade. Now, one fish might want one fish might want the other, so maybe you have to switch it up during the day if you're not getting a bite on a really big lure or a really small lure. But I think with all that being said, go a little bit more precise with your cast and a little bit more realistic and slow. So when you're looking at a grass mat and you're going to cast to the shady edge, obviously, because they're not going to be over here where the sun's pounding right here and it's hot right here. They're going to be over here in the shade up under the grass mat where the sun hasn't really penetrated yet until it gets over here, and then they might move to this side. But anyway, you're going to cast on the shady side right here, but make sure you're pinpointing that cast to where they're just if you're not up on it pitching into there, and you're pitching into holes, don't pitch into the hole at this time of year. Pitch outside of that hole, kind of in a thicker area, because they're trying to be shaded. So don't pitch in that hole that seems appealing to every fisherman. You're going to pitch into the darkest spot of that mat or patch of grass or whatever that you're casting into, and hopefully there's a fish in there, but then if you're not going to do that, you're going to cast in case they're outside, they're under the shade but looking outward for some prey to come by. You're going to cast a little bit past that and work in front of it. You're gonna have to test it out throughout the day, but you could either go you go fast, but not too fast, because it's hot, and like I said, they don't want to burn off, create heat burning energy just like you don't. It's hot and sweltering, the water is hot, so go at a decent speed. If you're not going to get them to bite doing that, then slow it down. Maybe they want it slower. And so that's and what I've found is actually most of I got one, the last time I went fishing, I got a bite on a swim jig, but most of my bites came on a non-weighted Senko. I was just letting it fall. There was nothing to it. The fish didn't have to work hard. They just seen that thing falling, and they had all the time in the world to go get it, and they did. And most of my bites were coming off of that. That's why I have this theory, and so you would have to test it out yourself. Go fast or a decent speed, and then slow it down, and then whichever one you're getting a bite at, that might be the pattern for the day. You might have to keep switching it up. It might change halfway through the day. You just never know. But so that's my advice. Those two things: try a big bait, no bites; try a little bait. One of those is bound to work for you. Try to do it fast, no bites, then do it slow. Of course, it seems like common knowledge, but sometimes you just need to hear it from somebody else. And so there you guys go. That's the type of fishing I'm going to be doing. And then I'm going to be looking for holes in deeper water as well, ledges. But in Lake Okeechobee, it's hard to find things like that. But regardless, if you're not on Lake Okeechobee, you're somewhere in Florida, just look for really thick stuff in deeper water, not really thick stuff in shallow water. Look for as deep as you can get with thick cover, or look for ledges, holes, and sometimes they might not even be in cover, or on ledges. They might just be in a hole in open water just because it's a little bit cooler down there. Give me 1 second, guys. Just what type of fishing I'm doing this time of year. Let me finish it. You can watch it later.
No.
Move. I gotta finish this.
Fine. You would next week.
But I didn't take you on that day. I just did not take you. Like if you go back to your mom's and I didn't never take you, then you can say I lied. But I just didn't take you on that day. But I'm still taking you. I'm gonna take you this weekend, dude. Back up.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So that's where I'm at right now. All right. So that's where we're at right now. The type of fishing I'm doing, what I'm looking for on Lake Okeechobee or any other bodies of water. I just showed you the natural colors and why I'm using that, and then for no particular reason, I guess there is a reason why I have the pig sticks, because I like Crush City. I wanted to try Crush City, and so these are like a Senko type of allures, a stick bait, and so I just wanted to give these a try. And then I like, I'm really used to using curly tail worms. I really like curly tail worms because of all the action and whatnot, but I want to get a little bit finessey, and the same thing I'm gonna do with these curly tail worms, drag them on the bottom with a 3/8 ounce tungsten Texas rig. I'm just gonna do that with these, and maybe a little hop, etc., and so I'm gonna do that and see if I can increase my my hookup ratio. Then I've got these chompers right here. I needed some I wanted to try some new trailers, and then I would actually just go ahead and Texas rig these all by themselves, but I think I'm going to use them as trailers as well. I'm going to show you these right here, these chompers skirted grubs. These things look amazing. Okay, look, just Texas rig that. It's kind of like a tube, upside down tube, and then you got these what are these things called? You got these ribbons here. Texas rig that, drag that through the water, and these ribbons are spinning, turning. And you're just dragging it, and they're just turning a little bit. And you got this tube. Once you start dragging it, these will be flopping all over the place, and just I think these will be juicy. I'll have to try them though. You never know. Fish don't think like we think. They don't smell like we smell or see what we see. So black and blue for dirtier water, real early in the morning, low light conditions. I'm really looking forward to these. I seen them and I was like, you know what? I don't think any bite is thrown those. I gotta try something different. Look at my baby Estella. She's about to leave with her mom. She caught me in the driveway. But like I was saying, a lot of people think that a frog works year-round as long as the water's like over 58 degrees or 63 degrees or something like that, and that a frog is just fire. It's just like the best thing ever in the mornings when fishing for bass. But my experience has not been that. I did not see a good frog bite, maybe one a day, but sometimes none in the mornings on a frog. But from December to now in June, I have not seen a good frog bite, just a few here and there. And then the good frog bite just started in May, and it's because all the frogs have been breeding. This is what I've noticed. All the frogs have been breeding, the toads in particular, and I've been seeing a whole lot of I do swimming pools, so I've seen a whole lot of baby frogs, tadpoles, breeding frogs. You'll see the female frog with a male on top of its back with its legs wrapped around it holding it. I've seen that a lot this time of year, and I think that has really been the thing that has increased the frog bite. I think the frogs are seeing a whole lot of, or I'm sorry, I think the fish are seeing a whole lot of frogs right now in their natural habitat and feeding on them because they're actively breeding and moving back and forth. Babies are being born, etc., etc. And so That's why the frog bite has picked up this time of year. This is for Florida specifically. You have to look up when frogs breed in your state, but I think that would be the only good time for a frog bite. I wouldn't waste my time on trying to get a frog bite any other time of year. Once that frog, we'll call it a spawn because we're fishermen, right? Once that frog spawn is over, I wouldn't keep trying to frog fish in the mornings. I would instead throw a spinner bait and possibly a jerk bait. I would find another method of enticing an early morning bite. Essentially, mine preferably is the spinner bait. I'm going to throw a spinner bait all year in the mornings, other than frog spawn down here in Florida. And so, guys, that's going to be the end of it right now. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in, if you tuned in again. And then if you're a new viewer of mine, subscribe. I really enjoy fishing, and I enjoy making content, and I just want to keep going and grinding. And when you guys follow me, that's an incentive that just makes me want to keep going, see how big I can actually get. And so, happy fishing, guys. Thank you.